Good morning.
Hi.
How are
How?
you? I like that energy.
Good morning.
Morning.
What's up, crew?
Chris, my man, how's that weather in Arizona?
You know, it's
Hello.
it's absolutely amazing.
Better
Absolutely
than it
amazing.
is here in Colorado.
Yeah, it's like cold and
Hello,
rainy today,
everybody.
kind of here.
Yeah,
Hi.
it's
Sunny and mild in LA.
They always say there's a steep price of 50% taxes for the California weather,
I know. Yeah,
but
I
it's
know.
worth it. People say, why are people so happy in California? Well, it's sunny 200 plus days a year, right? So what's there not to be happy about? So, all
That's
right, let's get started. Number one, showing up with your camera on it is already like the first step. It's amazing. I find today still after how many people show up with their cameras off, right?
I
I
have
always tell
to do a
people it's
Zoom
see or
for work.
see a seen and be seen business. So go into your Zoom settings, right? In zoom.us, don't do this right now, and change your name to your name and where your actual region is. Thank you. So what will happen is if I see Deb Easton on here all the time, right? And it has her region. As I get to know people and I'm thinking of an agent in her area, you know what? She becomes top of mind because same session, same community, same tracks, right? So what I want to do today is number one, take some time and just welcome all of you, right? It's an exciting journey that we're all going to get to go on. We're all going to become fast friends. And I want to share with you how to get the most out of this program, because the exchange of information is not enough, right? So today's my birthday, and so I'm going to give you all my birthday wish that you can all give me. If you can all just follow this mantra: addition by subtraction and simplification. The idea of hearing more information and think it's going to contribute more to your life is the worst business model in the world. What I have learned in over 17,000 hours of coaching here at Compass, yeah, that's a crazy number, right? Is the people that run the best businesses in the world are hyper focused and great at what they do. Now, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. You look at professional athletes, right? So if you look at somebody that's a center on a basketball team, they're practicing something different than if they're a point guard, right? But they're both going to practice all the time. So let me walk you through the mechanics of this. I'll show you how to put the sessions on your calendar, some really cool stuff on our platform, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. Sound good? All right. So you can see lots of happy people, and that is our goal for all of you. So look, getting the most out of coaching. I always find the whole point of a filter is to keep the wrong things out, right? So you can write this quote down. It's one of my favorites. If you don't know where you're going, you will end up anywhere. If you're a team leader, if you don't know who you're looking for, you'll end up with anyone. Same thing with clients, right? So you need to have a clear goal. So when I worked at Corporate Compass, Robert always told us you need to define what success looks like, or you'll have a group of people all looking at different things, right? So what does success look like at the end of this next 90 days, right? And then the next part is committing to the process. Like the process is built so that you can take what you learn out of one session, one accountability session, and use it in your business. But the process is blocking intentional time, a minimum of 3 times a week for just 30 minutes so that you can use what you learned. I love seeing people. The bigger the room, the more excited I am, right? I'm a lover of people. I want you to have a business that fits into your life. I don't think anyone got into this business to work all the time, to be on their stress phone, right? Because it's, you look at it, it's like stress, and have constant anxiety. It is not a great way to live, and I don't think you should. So by focusing and going deep, you will unlock all of those things in your life and your business, right? So write this down. This is not on the screen. Pomodoro, Pomodoro. I always joke around I got into real estate because I can't spell. So Pomodoro method, right? And write this website down. I'll put it, team, can you put it in the chat? Pomo, P-O-M-O, focus, F-O-C-U-S.io. Now, the Pomodoro method says if you focus on one thing only for 25 minutes at a time, you'll increase your productivity. So when it comes time to use what you did in coaching, like work with a partner, work with yourself, 25 minutes, 5 minutes, listen to music, disconnect, and be present in what you're doing. And it's all about consistency. So from my perspective, right? Almost 20 years in real estate. I worked on a MLS board that had 30,000 members, 2 as vice president, 2 as treasurer, 1 year on a board of directors. I chaired a young professionals network for 2 years. Like I've been living in this industry forever. And what I've learned is if you're able to consistently apply what you learned, what happens for you is magic. So don't go to any other trainings besides your sales meetings. People always get pissed off when I say that, but that's what I really believe. All of the Compass stuff is integrated here. We've been teaching people since 2018 on all this platform tools, adoption, and integration. And this is where making the commitment to one track really makes a difference, right? You do not need to go to buyers, sellers, and prospecting. Who here ever feels overwhelmed by their business as it is today? Right? So if you feel overwhelmed, doing more, Tony has 2 hands up. I love it. Doing more is not going to get you more. Actually, doing more is going to lead to, I call this the 3 C's. First, you become confused. Where do I start? Then it feels chaotic and overwhelming. I have so much to do. And then you go back to certainty. Well, if I do it wrong, I'm going to be bad with my clients, myself, and then you just don't do anything. So when you're trying to influence yourself, certainty is the worst thing that you can do. So pick one track, and please, when you dedicate time to yourself, non-negotiable, right? If you have a business that everything is urgent and important, that's called an emergency. And that's why people's central nervous systems are on such a, my seller's calling me. Okay, do you have a closing right now? Did something bad? No, but they're calling me, Chirag. I'm like, oh, great. So you don't have a contract with them? No, I have a contract with them. I go, no, you don't. So then you realize they can't fire you if you don't answer the phone call. No one's name on this call is on demand. It's nobody's name. Tell my kids that all the time. My name's not on demand. Can't just ask me to do things for you whenever you want, however you want. Right? So let's get into learning tracks. So this is about self-identifying, right? So I want to focus and go deep on my seller side of the business. That means you should go to the seller track. I want to build and implement a prospecting system. That means you should go to the prospecting track. I want to focus and go deep on my buyer side of the business. That means you should go to the buyer side of the track. And for anyone that's a team leader, I encourage you all to attend the team leader track, because learning how to build your value proposition, recruit to your value proposition, the hiring process, and then managing people, which is a whole different skill than sales, you can go to the team leader track. Now, the team leader track is the only track, if you're a team leader, that we suggest you can take that and then one of the other 3 tracks. So who here knows which track they want to take? And I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this, right? Look, if you're looking at a listing presentation, like a listing agent, right? Michelle, I cannot stop you from taking multiple tracks. However, I don't recommend it. Like, you go through one track this quarter and then go through another track the next quarter, right? But what we found in surveying our people, because I'm going to constantly be drilling into your head that your goal is mastery. Your goal is mastery. Your goal is mastery. What's mastery? 90% of the time, you're getting your ideal outcome based on memory. If I broke down to the buyer and seller side, right? There is 25 different distinct skills and things you need to do on each side of the transaction. So if you learned one a week, it would take you 25 weeks. The only reason we all deal with the same stupid challenges, I say because they're the same stupid challenges, because it's like, how many people here have kids? Imagine your kids took the same test every year and got the same questions wrong. You'd be like, why don't you just go study that one question? So when somebody says, I have a friend in the business, they'll do it for 1% less. Can I have a commission rebate? Will you discount your commission? Why do we all get stuck? When you talk about what I call sharing the market and positioning somebody's house for sale, right? How are we going to position your house on the market? Why do we have such a hard time getting clients to list at our price? It's practice, right? You have a hard time getting buyers to write reasonable offers? That's practicing a conversation. You have a hard time doing a buyer consultation or don't even know where to start because it's really new for a lot of us? That's a buyer track. You want to go to a listing pitch and know how to conduct an effective home tour, qualify people to know exactly what they want and get them to list with you every single time at your price and talk about only what they want and curate your pitch. That's a seller. If you don't have enough leads, then go to prospecting. But the tracks are all here for you, right? If you see one session you think that'll be really helpful, you might want to pop in, but it just causes more confusion when you're already overwhelmed and stressed out as it is to add in more. Yvette, if you're going to go to the team leader track, pick a buyer, seller, prospecting, and supplement it. You will have things to do outside of the tracks every single day. All right, adding the calendar. There are two things that are going to happen. Number one, you're going to get a PDF that has a links to add the calendar. It's an add event page, so you can pick any type of calendar that you want and you can add it. Now, the second thing is we'll show you inside of our platform, right? If you have not already today, make sure you log into our community platform. It's where all the resources are. If you just want to quickly log into a session, see past recordings, all of the stuff lives there, right? Now, set reminders. You want to make sure that like this is part of your life, right? And look, here's what I always tell people. But Chirag, I had a client come up at that time. They wanted to see properties. I'm like, okay, if I had an appointment with you and I was going to look at properties or you're coming to list my home and now another appointment came, what would you do? Oh, no, I told them I can't do it. So why are you giving up your time on your personal development when somebody calls? I have another appointment, offer them a whole bunch of different options. And then if it's a real emergency, then go back and watch the recording. But I want you all to get in the habit. If I miss a session, great. I'm going to watch the recording. I'm going to put it in my calendar. I'm going to plan it in advance. I need all of you to start running your business like a business, right? And if you look at the top luxury brands in the world, please tell me one that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anybody? You know what operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Bodegas, urgent care, right? Some CVSs and pharmacies, even drug dealers go to sleep, right? Like it is not a world that you work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So we're going to be hammering in time blocking, how to get the most out of your time, right? Because if you can't run your business like a business and you're responding to calls, emails, texts, DMs all day, you can never get anything done. And it's why people are so stressed out. Your clients don't want this experience. You don't want this experience. So let's take our business operating system and create structure in your lives and a better experience for your clients. Who's in for that? I'm in for simplicity, right? And look, I'll share this with you. When I was a real estate agent, I got my license when I was 23. I think I've tried every different way to get a lead, and I think I've done every dumb thing that you could humanly ever think of, right? So I speak from like real experience in doing this. And I used to think all the time, like, no, if I don't answer my phone, they're going to go somewhere else. It's very different if you're buying online leads and it's speed to lead and multiple touch points. That part I get. But if most of us here are working past clients and centers of influence business, your business doesn't need to be like this, right? Adding the calendar. You're going to add the calendar. You're going to prioritize the session. And today we're all going to pick an accountability group. Now, hit yes or no if you are currently getting part of your business is Compass agent referrals. Chris, unmute yourself.
Sorry.
No. I want you actually to share. So just tell them a little bit who you are and when your brokerage was acquired by Compass, and then I'm going to ask you another question.
Oh, thanks for putting me in the spot. Appreciate you. My name is Chris Karras. I'm over here in Arizona. I specialize in selling homes in an area called Paradise Valley, which is surrounded by Scottsdale and Phoenix. So we lead into Phoenix and Scottsdale as well. We are 2 years in with Compass. We were acquired by Compass and did a partnership about 2 years ago, and we have the whole entire state of Arizona as far as a brokerage. And we're here to help you guys. We're here to help grow you guys. And got about we got about 650 agents here locally in Arizona.
How many agent referrals have you gotten and given in this short amount of time?
In the 2 years,
Yeah.
I don't have the exact number, but I would say consistently, I would say one a month consistently the last 18 months or so. And I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we had, two go out and two come in. So, I mean, it's going to be easily more than that, but I definitely jumped into the Compass Kool-Aid, it tasted really great. And I made a lot of great relationships, and it's come full circle for sure. But we had to put the time in. We had to put the time and energy in, flying to different territories and going to different events and different summits and all that fun stuff.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
look, what I want to share with you is all of that is built in for all of you here, right? So there are events that we do in our office. That's why accountability groups are so important, right? So if you think about a natural progression, we want coaching to be a perpendicular line for you, not like this and not like this and not like this. And the last thing I want you to do is try to figure more things out than you already have to do every day. So here's what you do. You pick a track. Step number 2, you pick an accountability group that's within that same track. Step number 3 is I meet people in accountability groups and I'm like, all right, dude, Chris is kind of like my jam. Like I want to get to know him. Hey, Chris, you want to role play and practice a script we do? Or Chris says, hey, I just have a hard time making my calls, right? I ping Chris and I'm like, dude, why don't we go on Zoom every day for 30 to 45 minutes? We leave our camera on, we mute ourselves, we hold each other accountable. And then at the end of the last 15 minutes, we just download and connect. Like that is how you build relationships that turn into referrals, right? Because the biggest mistake that people make in this whole, I want to build referral things, they're not in my feeder market, Chirag, but if you knew me, I'm in Westport, Connecticut. I don't know where that's a feeder market to anything, right? Like people generally come here and most people stay here a long time, right? So, but I'm connected to agents in 39 different states. So if you have a relationship with me and I think you're a great agent, we send people referrals all the time. I get at least probably one text a week, Chirag, who in the network knows, and that's been trained by you that knows it, that's an agent in blank market. Right? Even our past clients still reach out like that because they know there's a certain quality of service that people that all work in this ecosystem provide, right? It is all about helping other people get what they want and doing it in a structured luxury style approach. And I don't think luxury, people always say, well, we don't sell luxury. The last time I checked, anything that's 50, 100, 200, 300, $400,000 is a lot of money, let alone millions of dollars, right? People are making what I believe is the biggest decision in their life besides getting married and having kids, right? It's buying or selling a home. It's a big thing. So we want to create that experience, and that's what the agent of the future will be. So here are your 4 options. So Brad and Cherish run accountability groups that follow the sessions, right? Ideal for some, not ideal for others. Prospecting, we have one coach now and we have another one that we're integrating in, and there's some cool things that I'm trying to get you guys for free. So stay tuned. And the prospecting session is right after prospecting, right? Now, Jody runs a buyer accountability groups Thursday on 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Hers is the only one that's longer. It's an hour, right? So hers has some more discussion, I would say, in it. And Martha runs, I don't know why these numbers are there, but Martha runs a great accountability group and has been running these groups for 3+ years on Fridays at 11:30 Eastern. So pick one time. All the accountability groups are 30 minutes with the exception of Jody's, right? So pick one group and stay in the group for 3 months, right? Remember, I'm going to elect a track. I'm going to elect an accountability session, and then I'm going to meet people in there, right? It's like meeting people at like a networking event and then finding somebody to go on a date with, right? And in this case, you're going to have to go on dates with many different people, right? But like, think about it. If I want to practice role playing, I would find 3 people in my accountability group and stick them in 3 days. All right, we have some questions now. All right, we're not at the calendar yet. Don't jump ahead. We promise we'll get you the calendar. Now, someone asked, what's the difference There is no seller 766. I don't know why. That's like a typo. So I did not see that. So I don't know why that's there. Now, what are you going to learn in a track? If you think about buyers and you think about sellers, from initial conversation to closing and beyond, it is everything that you need to know in the transaction, right? This is very much mastering the transaction. So you're going to know what to say, what to send, and what to do next. So if you think about a listing appointment, I have to pre-qualify somebody so I know exactly what they want. Then I have to enter the notes into my CRM in a very specific way and group and tag people so I know how to find them later. Then I need to curate my pitch when I go to somebody's house to talk about exactly what they want, not throw a bunch of stuff and talk about only what I want, right? The next part is I need to repeat what I learned in pre-qualifying. Then I need to conduct an effective home tour, which is like the #1 black hole where all listing presentations go bad, and so on and so on and so on, right? Like what to say, what to send, what to do next. And when you start going through this, it's like magic. The one thing you'll realize is everything gets easier. All the accountability sessions are 30 minutes. Sorry, I didn't see that on the slide. So don't worry, there'll be time for questions at the end of this. All right, cool. Let us show you our platform now. So you will go here and you'll all log in. Now, the first tab that you want to pay attention to is sessions and events. This is where all of the upcoming sessions live. So if you just want to add one session to your calendar, you can hit add calendar. If you just want to join, you can come here and find the link. But now if I want to join the seller track, right, I can click this seller, any session, and on the bottom it says subscribe here to calendar, right? So you hit follow calendar and it will pop up and then you can put your information in and it will walk you through all the details. Right? So I'm going to go through that one more time. Click session and events. This is an individual session. This is how to join a session. If you want more details on the event, you can click here. And then there's a subscribe here button at the bottom, which will bring you to another page. Just not bringing me to because I think it's still open up. There it is. And here are all the sessions. It's as simple as that. Now, the next thing that we want to show you is past events, right? If you ever want to catch a recording, you can just go back to any of the past events. They're here, right? So you can see the recording. We actually provide an actual summary of key takeaways, action steps, and any related resources. So everything is all centralized in one place. Now we continue to build out our member directory, right? This is actually an initiative of ours for this next quarter. As you can see, this is built out. You can public message, private message, so on and so forth, right? So we'll continue to build these out with people and we'll be reaching out to you throughout the quarter to make sure that everyone has a profile. Great way to find resources. Now, this is our newest shiny penny invention. So one of the things that we had learned, because we're constantly asking for feedback, is how do I find some of these materials if I need something right away? Sound about right? Now, if I type in, I need a communication plan for my next appointment. I hit communication plan. Voila, right here. Now, here's the next part. All right, this is really good, but I need a training video too. Communication. There's a script.
Predictable communication plan.
And there's your video. Now, very much like ChatGPT, you can go here in the sidebar. You can see all your past searches. You can hit a heart and a favorite, and then you can go back to an old thread. So this way, if you want to organize things that are really important to you, this is the easiest way to go about doing that. So look, we have a few minutes left for questions. So let me know your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. And the other part is if you need anything, right? We're going to put this in the chat, info@chiragshahcoaching.com. Our support team is great. If you email them, there's actually a physical record created. Somebody has to go in there and close it. So if you email my email, Chirag Shah Coaching, I'm probably the worst person because there is no ticket created, right? I'll then forward it to somebody else and things just get lost. And our average ticket response time is less than 2 hours. So we're pretty good about that, right? But we all operate on East Coast times. Yes, Joseph, master one track and then start taking the next track. The sessions begin on Monday. So Monday is the seller session, Tuesday is the buyer, Wednesday is prospecting. So log into the platform. You can either add the calendars yourself, or our team's going to send you out a PDF that just has like hyperlinks to everything and you can pick from there. So your job essentially right now is to pick a track and pick an accountability group. Now, if you don't know what track is, maybe the first week you want to go to 3 sessions, right? If you're not sure, that's fine too. All right, we have a couple minutes. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Stacy Leahy. I signed up on Sunday. I've been following your free coaching before, and I'm in a position where I have a buyer consultation from an open house the prior week. And so that's where I was like, oh, this is exactly what I need. I need this roadmap. So I've already been in the platform trying to piece together everything and condense it. And I know I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to do my best tomorrow. But I started with this buyer checklist. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see it. It's the buyer experience checklist.
Chirag Shah Coaching, and let me help you.
Okay, that would be,
That was the easiest way to do
yeah,
it.
I don't want to waste anybody's time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Chirag. I'm sorry.
At Chirag, my name at ChiragShahCoaching.com.
Okay, thank you so much.
You said team leader track and one other prospect. Yes, Ben, you can do BG, you can do the team leader track. Nelson, you're going to the team leader track. And Robin, you're coming to the team leader track. All 3 of you are coming together and pick one of those. That's a minor, major and minor, right? So if you're a team leader, your major is like your actual in business, if you're still producing. If not, just go to the team leader track.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
One's a technical question, so you probably can just like, I have 2 questions. One's a technical, you can probably just point me in the right direction. And that is, I have tried this over and over again to subscribe to the calendars, and I have your real-time coaching lab on Fridays that shows on my list of calendars, but for whatever reason, these calendars don't pop up on my list of calendars, so they're not showing anywhere. Is there someone
Email is the perfect thing. Email info@chiragshahcoaching.com. Someone will be able to
Okay.
help.
And then my second question is, I don't yet have a team, but my personal roadmap for 2025 is to start. So should I,
And go on the team leader track, so you start
as
at
a
the right.
minor? Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to know, I'm a kind of newer agent. I started last year, and I already have a full database from my team of people to reach out on the buy side. And I've had success with 2 listings so far. So when I had asked if I should do all 3 roadmaps, I was thinking the seller, the buying, and the prospecting, but Shirag, you recommended just
Do
one at a
not do it. It's a
time.
recipe for disaster. So
Okay.
Especially if you're newer, right? I would say you can't build a foundation on anything that's fluid, meaning fluidity has no scale to it. Whatever you build on top, it's going to break. So if you have a whole bunch of leads and people to call, pick buyer or seller. Sounds like you have more buyers. I would do buyer, right? Because you'll always get to that point where you're now going to be able to have a conversation that you need to turn into a client, right? So I would do the buyer one.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey,
You're welcome.
Chirag, I had a really quick question. It actually is the same question that someone had in the chat, but I don't think you guys got to it. The checklist and like the yeah, Janelle, the checklist and the what are the task
We're
list?
building, so in the month of April, we're building all of these things into Compass One where you'll have it. And then we're going to have, starting in May, we'll have just specific training sessions on Compass One, how to click the buttons. And myself and
Okay.
Summer will be doing those together.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. But we will walk you through. Don't take our checklist and jump ahead. Go through. You got to go through the process, right? You can find anything that we have on there. And you can watch a video on it too, but I'm saying like just try as best as you can to go through the process, right? I know if you're going on an appointment, you need something, that's what the AI search and all of our trainings for. Like hop on, get a resource, watch the video, but sequentially do it so it all makes more sense to you. So I have to jump. It's always love in my heart. I love you all. Thank you so much for the opportunity to spend the next year together. And we will have a great time. We're going to grow together. And most importantly, you're going to build incredible relationships and a business that fits into your life. So I'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.